Hi guys, Brain here and welcome to another commentary video. Today, I just wanted to talk to you about a potential issue that I see coming up with the at least the early access, maybe not even the full release, but the early access of VHS so far. Just kind of like just a way that the game functions. That's kind of like, in terms of trying to reach a wider audience, may potentially present some issues in the long run. And it may not. I could just be fully wrong. But it's one thing I've noticed about the game that, like, whenever I go to fire up VHS, I, like, very, very, like, poignantly don't, like, I second guess hopping into, like a session of VHS because of, like, the way the gameplay works. So without further ado, let's just, go ahead and talk about it instead of beating around the bush. I will say first off, I'm not going to mention or talk about the whole, like, this game's really hard to learn and it's very beginner unfriendly, because like that doesn't speak about like the content of the game. I don't think that doesn't, to me, that's not indicative of the game's quality. It's not, right? Because all you have to do is put in a matchmaking system and that's just fixed immediately, right? So even though that's kind of like the main reason I don't have fun playing the game, like that's going to be fixed. Like, so there's kind of like no reason to talk about it. And like I said, it's not really like good to take only one perspective of the game, which is like a beginner's perspective of the game, and judge the whole game based off of that. So basically there's just like a group of people who have had keys since the beginning, and like this is their main game and they go hard at the game, and like the amount of skill they've gained versus new players is just like so immeasurable that like facing them, you're just getting landslided all the time. But yeah, matchmaking will be a thing when the game actually comes out, so that will probably not be an issue. So I'm just not going to judge the game off that, to be honest. I mean, that's been kind of like my main gripe with the game, but that's not really with the game. That's just a lack of a matchmaking system. What I instead want to talk about today is the actual way the game flows, which is something that I feel like should be talked about as something that could potentially be worrisome, especially to like a more casual audience. Is the match length is like incredibly long in this game. like I know it's not like you're gonna hear me say this and you're gonna be like, wow, when I play Dota, all the matches are like 40 minutes, and like that's fine, but that's like an entirely different genre. In the 4v1 genre, like for example with Dead by Daylight, I can play 4 matches of DBD in 1 hour, right? When I'm going through, because when I put a video up there, I go through my Twitch and I go highlight the video, and when I highlight the video, it tells me how long the clip is before I have to download it and put it up in that corner over there as the B-roll while I talk. All my DBD matches are anywhere between 9 and 15 minutes. If a match is like 17 minutes, that's just because like I had to like proxy camp or something, so the match took a little longer or something like that. But for the most part, matches fall in DBD between 9 and 15 minutes. And the reason that's good for the flow of a game is because that's like you get right back in. Like you have the match, you get right back in. You have the match, you get right back in. If you have a good match, you get it done and you're like, yay, I did it. If you have a bad match, at least you're out of it relatively quickly, right? And you can just like re-queue and get back in, and hopefully your next match is better. In VHS, just because of like the way the game is structured, matches take a very, very long time. And the reason I brought this up is because I noticed this is the last time I streamed this game. I had 2 matches in 1 hour. 2. And the queue times weren't even that bad at that point. So like the queue times were only like 3 minutes, and I had 2 matches in a whole hour. 2. Because matches in VHS, if both sides really want to win, which is, all of them right now because it's a closed beta, so everybody's sweating. If you want to win, you guys play very, very defensively, which means like if you're ever in a situation that seems disadvantageous, I can't say this word, I guess. Disadvantageous for you, whether that be on the team or the monster side, you retreat essentially. Like you get the hell out of Dodge, you get out of there, right? And you go regroup, you go heal up, you go build a new weapon, you go wait for your powers to come back on cooldown if you're playing monster. But essentially, you disengage and you go hide. And that's what both sides do. Like anytime they go to attack each other, because remember, there's no middle objective in this game. There's no gens. It's literally just fight and kill the monster, or the monster kills you. You would think that formula would lend itself more to there being more interaction between the two sides and the game's going quicker. But because like everything comes down to essentially just like one brutal mistake, and how quickly that happens. Anytime a situation feels fishy or doesn't seem like it's going your way, either side will just disengage and go hide and go regroup and try to reset. And both sides do it. So it leads to this weird scenario where, like, in theory, we should be fighting each other more because there's no middle objective to do. It's just me versus you. But because it's not even like a meta, because there's no like, it's not like perk related or anything. It's just like the play style is just, if the game is not going my way, I'm going to go hide. And because of that, matches last like an immensely long time. When I was going through it, I was clipping things for the 3 or 4 videos that I've made for VHS so far. Like, all of my matches are 20 minutes plus. They usually hang around the 25-minute mark. All of them are 20 minutes plus. So, like, you're only having like 2, maybe 3 matches an hour? For us, like, you hear that and like we're deep in the 4v1 asymmetrical horror zone, right? Like, we're deep in it, right? So for a lot of us, that's like not a big deal, right? But like, you got to consider the idea of like the casual audience, right? Because like, you could like have like no knowledge about DBD. You just see like, oh, I like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Look, there's Bubba. And then you hop in, you buy the game, you buy one DLC, you buy Bubba, you buy good old Leatherface, you hop in a match, and you play it, and you're probably not going to do the hottest. But, you know, the difference in this game is the survivors at like the most basic level don't know what they're doing either. So like, the match goes by, you know, pretty quickly. You're in and out. Whether that experience is bad or good, that's like at like most a 15-minute experience, right? In this game, like, you could be here for like 20-25 minutes in a match. It's like can you imagine that experience when you hop in to your very, very first match and it's gonna be a 20 to 25 minute experience, like right off the bat, and you end up just like losing anyway? I'm not saying you have to win every match, especially as like a beginner, especially in this game that's like really, 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 really like a lot more skill intensive than DBD. But like when you're in this situation where you're brand new and you're just casual audience, you're not like us. You're not like us. You're not watching YouTube content for Dead by Daylight and stuff. You're not heavy into the 4v1 genre. You're just kind of like, I want a spooky game I can play with my friends, where we run from a big monster and we try to kill it, but sometimes we fail. Do you really want to be in back-to-back 20 to 25 minute matches where you guys end up just like wasting your time, right? Like, when, you know, they end up just like pulling it out anyway just because they play more patient than you. Like, I get, like, this is a similar situation that we ran into with like Phasmo, right? Because Phasmophobia like started like gearing all of their content updates towards people who understood that there was a higher skill cap to this game and were really trying to push the game to its limits in terms of like efficiency, right? And at a certain point, they started driving away their casual audience because patch after patch after patch after patch came out where they were only focusing on the top skill bracket, you know, the people who were really, really good at the game. And they weren't really caring about the casual audience anymore, because for a lot of people, Phasmo was just hop in with like a bunch of friends on voice comms and get scared by a ghost, right? Like that was the appeal, right? Some people took it to like an extreme, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly okay. But like, they started balancing the game only for that higher echelon, and they stopped really kind of like caring about like the casual zone. And it was like really sad, and a lot of people stopped playing the game as a result. And luckily they've gone back on that, and they've started like, you know, really trying to like clean up the game and make it like for everybody again, which is really, really nice. And I don't want to see VHS go through the same thing where it's just like, yeah, these are like 25-minute like sweat fests where we're like playing super defensively and never making any mistakes, and if we do, it's like I don't want that for this, because like, that's going to be good for us who like are super into 4v1 games and like that like intensity and skill to it. But to like the casual audience, which makes most of the money for these games, most of the people who play Dead by Daylight are not people who are like watching YouTube videos for it every day. They just like they only watch Otts, they only watch like Tofu, they only watch like the top streamers and every once in a while, and they just mostly just do it as like a fun thing every once in a while to play with their friends. Those are the people who pay the bills. Those are the people who pay the bills. Realistically, like me, like I bought the DLC for Portrait of Murder, and then I think I bought the Michaela costume, And that's it. That's the amount of money I've spent in the last month, right? But like casual gamers come in, you know, buy a favorite costume that they like, pay $20 on the game, and there's tons and tons and tons of those people, right? Like tons and tons of those people. So like the casual audience is like the breadwinners for whatever game it is. The casual audience is. And it seems just like, I'm just worried, right? I'm just worried about this game because at least like from my experience in the closed beta, like matches are really long and the game is on the beginner unfriendly side. So I really hope they make adjustments to these things that try to make sure that the game is good for a casual player. I'm not saying change it entirely to cater to casual players. That's different. I just think that realistically, if you want your game to succeed, you want the casual audience to be interested in your game. And this game's going to be free too. That's another thing to consider. This game's going to be free. It's a freemium game. It's free to download, but there's in-app purchases. That's the only way they're making money off of this. So you don't want the casual audience to be turned off to your game because you're not even getting like the buy-in, right? Like you have to like pay for access. You're not even getting that aspect because your game's going to be free. So pushing your casual audience even farther away by having like super long matches and having the game be super hard to learn is like, I don't know, that scares me because like I understand like, and you got to have that foresight. You really do. Like you will bring this up to anybody who currently is like super into this game. They'll be like, that's not a problem at all, because those people have been playing since like Key 1 Wave and they're obsessed with the game and they're good at the game. So this problem does not literally occur to them. It just doesn't. Like they just, because they're the ones that are like benefiting off of these things because they're the target audience. But if your target audience is too small, you run the risk of failing because you got to appeal to the masses. You just do. So I don't know. I'm probably just worrying about nothing. I hope I'm just worrying about nothing. But I really hope this is just like that they make these adjustments that like try to make the game a little bit more applicable to like somebody who just wants to play it sometimes and not all the time. Because currently it seems like this game's freaking amazing for people who want to make it their main game, only play this game and play this very frequently. Because it is very in depth, it's very well designed, mechanics are really, really good. Like it's got everything. It literally is a great alternative in the 4v1 genre. But to the casual audience, I can't see people playing this casually, at least in its current state, just because matches are really, really long, and it's so hard to it's so hard to learn that it's like I can't see people sticking with it if it's just going to be like, you know, them getting dumpstered by stronger players all the time. So I'm interested to see what they'll do to try to make the game a little bit like more visible and like appealing to a general audience and not just us who are in the 4v1 sphere who are very like, you know, drinking the tea right now just because we like having this nice alternative, you know? But yeah, I really hope they go that route where they try to like make it better because that's what pays the bills. But yeah, thank you for watching, friendos. I appreciate you so much. If you like this video, make sure you do the likey like. If you want to stick around and see more of my videos, make sure you subscribe Aroni, because that's how you get the videos on your homepage. Other than that, anything else for you, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And if I don't, I'll see you when I see you, friends. Bye-bye.